My live stream went well, by the way. Like, I was into it. I'm feeling confident to do it again.
Nice. Did you that binder, like organizing your binder, did you keep it that way, or did you go back and reorganize
First of all,
it?
I completely gave up trying to organize it.
I was gonna say, it seemed like you were just like, okay, this is how it's gonna go, and then I was like, I don't think he's actually organizing this. It's like way too difficult to do that and live stream.
Yeah, that it was a really good idea in theory, but it just didn't execute quite the same. The binder is still like that out of
Okay.
laziness.
That's funny.
Yeah, maybe I'll do a reorganization live stream soon, and
Yeah,
we can revisit that. This is episode 30 of the Weekly Weedle. Welcome back, everybody. We are doing my spicy takes this time, my hot takes. So I think 2 episodes ago, we did Shug's spicy takes, which were lukewarm at best.
I've gotten so much shit for those.
I'll preface this by saying I went a little out of my comfort zone, and I really tried to come up with some controversial opinions. So I'll just say before we get started, a lot of these are nuanced. Don't freak out, but I am approaching this pretty firmly. So, and then Shug's gonna rate them at the end from spiciest from coldest to hottest. How about that?
Yeah, let me get some paper. I got a paper right here, but yeah, you can go ahead and put the first one if you want.
Okay, my first spicy take. You should not buy sealed product.
Ooh.
I think
it's very spicy already.
I think this is the one I'm most confident about. This is the one that I have. This has been sort of a narrative in a few of the videos I've made. I think that it's a great time to start collecting Pokemon. I think that Pokemon is big enough and accessible enough right now that we don't have to buy sealed product. I think buying sealed was something that was sort of required in the past, but with how big Pokemon's blown up lately, I don't think we have to buy sealed anymore. It's not necessary to collect. In fact, I think it's going to hurt your collecting strategy if you have one.
How so?
It really takes the focus off of your collecting identity and your blueprint. If you're a species collector, if you're a promo collector, whatever it is, packs are just not the way to go. You're going to end up with so much bulk unless you're a TCG player and you like having bulk to make decks. It's just such an inefficient way to collect. Also, good luck finding it at MSRP.
What if you're a sealed collector?
Man, I don't know. I mean, I guess knock yourself out.
Yeah, I'm not a sealed collector. I don't understand sealed collecting. Like there's a lot of people that really love it. I don't understand it for modern stuff, but I guess you have to hold on to the modern stuff for it to become older.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's an interesting take. That's pretty spicy. I don't know if I agree necessarily, because I think depending on what you want to do, like, and if you can get stuff for MSRP, especially Japanese boxes, $37 to $40 USD is like that's so cheap. So if you're buying product to open and have fun, if you can find it for MSRP, especially in the Japanese side of things, I don't really know English product prices, but I would say you could buy sealed. And again, it depends on what you're trying to do with it. Are you trying to hold it to open later? Because sometimes it is fun to go back and open older sets. A lot of my product I bought because, I don't know, it's like a mix of things, but I thought, okay, part investment, part maybe I want to open it later, part if I ever had a big YouTube channel, it'd be awesome to have these boxes that I got for cheap and give them away when they're more expensive. Um, so I guess there's a lot of utility in sealed product, is my thing. But to buy it, I guess, to open to collect, like that's, I guess I agree with that. That's probably an inefficient way to do so, especially at these prices. Even from what I understand, some of the prices with English product being so high, like Ascended Heroes is gone crazy recently. Um, I would say that even, yeah, like I would agree not to be buying those right now to hold to collect, just because it's a brand new set and it's so expensive right now. I think $500 for ETBs. I don't know. That's probably wrong. Don't quote me on that. Somebody can let me know in the comments how much it is.
Yeah, there still is some utility to buying sealed. I just bought 100 booster packs for my 100K live stream giveaway for my channel.
Damn.
Yeah, so there's still utility to it, and I understand if you like opening sealed product, by all means, buy some and open it with your kids or on your birthday or whatever. But I just, as a means to collect, I don't think we have to do that anymore. It's so accessible now.
Yeah. All right. That's a good one.
Um, so my next one, I'm gonna, it's closely related. So my next spicy take is collecting, quote, what I like is the worst way to collect. So I think that I've said this before. I think you have to have a strategy or a blueprint or an identity when it comes to collecting. Some people just collect what they like, and I think that's the worst way to collect. Outside of, there's a caveat. Opening sealed product is the worst way to collect.
Okay.
But a lot of people, or I get this a lot in the comments on my videos, that
Mm.
I don't want a blueprint. I don't want a strategy or an identity. I just want to open packs and just collect what I get. No, no, no. Bad idea. I think that if you go to a card show and you just blow your budget on just, oh, I like this card, I like that card, um, I think that's a bad way to collect.
I actually agree with this. I think I know I should maybe disagree for the sake of argument, but I think, yeah, that's something that we've talked about in the past, and having like a collection identity is like a really efficient way to collect, and it can become something really cool. Some of the best collections we've looked at, just online or anywhere, are collectors with strong collection identities. Um, those are the ones that stand out the most to me, not the ones that are just, oh yeah, I like this, I like this, I like this. And I'm one of those people where I've tried to um, like narrow down what my collection is, and I think I struggle with that on and off, and I go back and forth, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna only collect non TCG stuff. That's how I started, was just non TCG.
How's your
Um,
Dragonite collection?
yeah, it's not. I think I have the 2 Dragonite cards back here. That's not a thing anymore. Yeah, so you've seen it happen in real time, just in the the 30 episodes of the Weekly Weedle. But um, yeah, it's fun to collect that way, but I guess it doesn't. If you want to build something really special, it's that's not the way to do it, in my opinion. I think if you can really have strong objective goals in your collecting and have a solid identity to your collection, you can make something really, really cool. And that focus will just grow your collection even more. So I agree with that one.
I feel like this one's was a little too closely related to my first take.
I don't think so.
It's
I
kind
think
of the
yeah,
same
but I
thing
think
to
it's a
me.
spicy one though. I think it's like something that people will push back on.
Oh
Um,
yeah, oh yeah. I think I'm
yeah.
gonna offend some people.
Yeah. That's a good
O-
one though. These are already
Okay,
way better than mine.
I thought hard about these. My next spicy take is no one cares about the first ever. So there's a lot of hype behind the first ever,
Mm,
you know, X, Y, or Z. No one cares. No one cares about the first ever Pikachu, the first ever Pokemon cards, the first ever Ace specs, whatever it is. No one cares.
that's spicy.
Or first appearances.
Do you believe that? Do
Sometimes I
you?
see hype behind like this is the first ever Mew card or something like that.
Yeah, current example, the glossy Ivy Korokorum Pikachu. Um,
Yeah,
the first ever
cool.
TCG card, first ever Pikachu card.
Yeah,
I I think first definitely matters. We've seen it in not just in Pokemon, but other collectible spaces. People want to know what the oldest thing is. Not everybody, but a good amount of people. As they get into the hobby, they'll be like, "Well, what's the first, and what's the oldest, and where did it start?" And then they start digging in, into it and finding out where those things are, what those things are. Um, yeah, like I don't know, you could look at certain like sports and baseball and like I said, not even just cards, but different collectibles where people just go as back far as they can. And it's that SM Pratism, that older, rare, minter better. Like I always think that's something that will stand true in like fundamentals of collectibles and collectability. So I don't know if I agree with that. Do you have like I guess a more explanation as to why you think that?
yeah. Like I said, these are all very nuanced. I'm gonna come out of the gate pretty strong, but
Yeah.
um, yeah, I think you're right. Definitely, like rookie cards is probably like the best argument. Like, obviously, in sports, rookie cards are like everything because they are the first ever appearance of that athlete. Um, and that's kind of what I was thinking of for Pokemon. Yeah, we're talking about like first edition base set or like no rarity. Those things are indisputably awesome. People like that. But I feel like people stretch it too far. Like they're saying like, oh, this is the first ever appearance of this Pokemon, or this is the first ever of this hollow pattern, or this is the
Okay.
first ever set with silver borders, and it's like no one cares.
Okay.
Um, I don't care about, this being Steelix's first ever card. It's not Steelix's best card, you know.
Mm.
That was a weird example. I really like Steelix.
I think okay, so for like yeah, I think for rookies and first appearances of like the TCG cards and stuff like that, yeah, it definitely matters. But I agree with you how people stretch it too much and they try to apply it to everything broadly. And it's almost like even more so recently, people look for ways to like make cards more expensive. Similar to how
Hmm.
like they put like they give cards nicknames like the Booger Mew. It's that Solus card or Solosis card where it's the same artist as the Bubble Mew. And they're like, oh, this is the Booger Mew. It's like they're putting these nicknames to it, not because it's more of like a hype thing than anything. Um, yeah, so I can see how like people take it too far. I can agree with that.
And yeah, on the note with the Ivy Pikachu, like, I don't know. We talked about this last episode. The card's ugly,
Yeah,
you
definitely
know.
overvalued right now. It's a mass produced promo, and people are like, the prices on it are crazy. I think a PSA 1 sold for $2,000.
Yeah, it's getting pumped to the moon. I don't understand why it's so desirable. I know it's the first ever Pokemon card. I think that's cool. Um, but I'm happy seeing it. I did feel no desire to own it because of that. I said in the past that I do want that card. I have really wanted it, but now that the price has gone up, I mean, okay, it's the first ever Pokemon card. Um, Great. I mean, good for you, right?
Yeah. Shout out to Dark Ibex. He actually just got one back in an ARS submission. Sorry if I'm taking still in his thunder by telling everybody this, but he sent one to ARS and he said that he got it in 2021, the Ivy Pikachu. Guess how much he bought it for? Raw.
2021 Raw. Um,
Here in Japan.
Maybe like 30 USD, maybe.
That's what I would think. He said he got it for 300 yen. It's like $1.80.
Yeah, they were
A
cheap.
dollar 80 for like a near mint copy. And now that thing is near mint going for like $6,000 or more.
He got a good deal though, because I was that was like right when I started my YouTube channel, and I needed Either that or the Jigglypuff, and I picked the Jigglypuff because it was like
I
10
remember you said
bucks
that.
cheaper.
But you got it from Canada. Like he's here in Japan where that
Yeah,
promo is just everywhere. Like
sure.
there's still a
Okay,
bunch on
okay.
Mercari like listed. They're more expensive now, but they're everywhere here. Um, yeah. Anyway, that's a good one.
My next spicy take. Every influencer should start their own grading company.
These are creative. Yeah, I have no. You're gonna have to explain this one.
Okay, so this, I also feel pretty strongly about this one. So I know someone's gonna freak out when I say this, but PSA is a monopoly. Yes, I know it's not technically a monopoly because CGC exists, but yeah, it's basically a monopoly, and that's bad. That's bad for everyone except PSA, basically. Um, so we have PSA, we have CGC, we have SGC, Tag, Beckett, and Ace grading is kind of like the best example here. Ace grading is started by an influencer, by Randolph. He was a Pokemon YouTuber, still is a Pokemon YouTuber. And I think Ace gets the most hate out of any of them because of who started it. And I don't think that's fair. You know, I think that all of these small grading companies, just because you don't recognize the name, doesn't mean that it's a bad company. It's not going to carry the same weight as PSA. Obviously, it's not going to resell on the market. Um, they are more likely to make mistakes, but I think that we have to really open up to the idea of supporting smaller grading companies. Now, it's easier said than done. Personally, I want my cards graded by PSA or CGC or Tag, etc. I don't really want my cards graded by some no-name grading company. So I'm being a little bit of a hypocrite, and I recognize that. But I think that all a grading company is someone gauging the condition of your card and putting it in a plastic slab, which is it's it's nothing, dude. Like it's really not much. Um, you
It's
can
completely
buy,
arbitrary.
yeah, the machine that seals the slab shut with ultrasonic welding. You can get those on Alibaba for like $1,000. The plastic cases are dirt cheap. Like you can start your own grading company for like under $5,000. I think that everyone should. I think that we just gotta do it.
Well, what's the reason behind it though? Just to I guess have more competition for.
I think we need to demystify the idea that grading is something special.
Okay.
It's
So you're
really
saying if
not.
everybody has a grading company and people use different grading companies, it'll make it less special.
It'll make it less special. It's more of a fair market. Puts more pressure on the bigger companies to innovate. Like we saw with Ace doing the custom labels. There's a demand for custom labels. Whether you like it or not, they're still running as a company. Therefore, their custom labels, that's kind of their main value proposition. Grade with us because we present the card in a beautiful way with this label that matches. And if Ace really blew up, if Ace was doing like 100,000 cards a month, 300,000 cards a month, then that would put a lot of pressure on PSA to say like, hey, is this something we should offer? Knowing PSA, it would be like an extra special premium tier. but but yeah, just
Yeah.
stuff like that, like Tag with their report, the depth of their report. There is a demand for that. And after Tag came out, then PSA is like, oh, now you can get grading notes, And so I just think that especially new people in the hobby, they think grading is this magical thing. It's not. Someone's looking at your card, They're putting in a plastic slab and sending it back to you. It's not that special. It's really PSA's name and their reputation and their history. That's what it is. And I don't know. I think we just put too much weight on that, I guess.
Yeah, I agree with that statement. We put too much weight on grading. I think Japan does a really good job of still, like, even with PSA cards, they'll have um two PSA 10s of the same card, but they'll be priced differently in like a card store, and they'll be right next to each other. And it's because Japan like looks at the card still in the case and is like evaluating. They're like, okay, this is a weak PSA 10 compared to this one. So they're looking at the card and not the grade still. And I don't think that we do that enough in the West. Maybe there's some people that do, but like Japan just got grading from PSA like in 2023, and they're already doing this like 3 years later. So they're pretty quick to realize that these companies make mistakes and they're not perfect, and people rely too heavily on them. I don't know about every like YouTuber making their own grading company. As you were talking, I'm trying to think of like which YouTubers that created a grading company like I would want to grade with, and I can't think there are like of many. I was thinking like Rudy, he has his own grading company. I think it was started before though. I think he didn't start it. He bought it maybe.
Mm.
If Premier Grading Company or something. And then I was thinking like, what if like PokeRev started one? I don't know if I'd want to grade with him. Like, just it would have to like be consistent with their content. So I was thinking like if you started one, and this is not just because we're friends, but it's kind of like on theme with what your content is, and your like sleeve no card behind grading sounds like okay. I don't know. There's just something that works there. Um, but like with it would have to be like depending on the YouTuber for me, which like if I would go with them or not.
Imagine the innovation though. If everyone started their own grading company, like a few of them are going to be amazing, I think. Like someone's going to come
That's
up
true.
with a great value proposition.
Yeah, like
Like
Pat.
Randolph with his the Ace labels. Like I said, whether you like them or not, that's something that wasn't on the market and now it is, and there is a demand for it. And I'm sure there's a lot of that that has yet to be discovered.
I think the West is needs like a high quality ARS style slab.
Sure, exactly. Like that's
Yeah,
another one. Um, yeah, maybe sleeve no card behind grading would be ARS style,
that'd be
you
sick.
know? Um, I've said in the past, if I started one, I wouldn't grade. It would just
Did you
be
say NGC or
a non-grading company. Yeah,
yeah?
it would be just authentication. It's sort of like, let's go back to appreciating the card. Um, and that's obviously very selective. You're going to be uh, going into a very small niche if I were to do that, because most people want grades on their cards. But yeah, I think it's stuff like that, and I'm sure there's so many amazing ideas that I haven't thought about, and PSA hasn't thought about. And it's just I think if every influencer started their own grading company, we'd see some really really amazing stuff.
Ah, it's a good point. Interesting thought.
Um, my next spicy take, second last, whatnot is fine.
Is what?
Fine.
Oh, they said fun. I guess okay. Whatnot is fine.
Whatnot is fine. Yeah. There's
Okay,
so much. I'm sorry if you can hear Tofu meowing.
no, it's okay.
Actually, I know you can because I edit these. um, meow.
I'm so
Yeah.
used to it.
Oh, me too. Whatnot is fine. Whatnot's fine. People talk about Whatnot being some like crazy cesspool where you're gonna get scammed, and they're gonna call your grandmother and use your niece's voice, AI voice, to scam her out of money, and just like just the nastiest stuff. Um, I think Whatnot is like crossing a busy street. If you just run out there, you're gonna get hit by a car. You have to wait for the light. You have to be careful. You know, uh,
Hmm.
use at your own risk. Yes, there's scammers on Whatnot. There's also scammers on eBay and Mercari, and there's vendors who are going to scam you. Now, I will admit, I think Whatnot has a higher amount of scammers than those other places. It's definitely attracted that group, but it's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's fine. Uh, Use Whatnot. Don't play those stupid carnival games that those streamers are doing. Okay? Don't buy mystery packs. Don't spin the wheel. That's your fault if you play one of those. That is a lose-lose. When you see someone win,
Unless
that's
it's a
not real.
win-win.
One thing I noticed is there's this like spin the wheel game that a lot of the streamers on Whatnot play, where there's, let's say, X number of cards that are flipped over. It's a mystery card, right? And and they're all commons, but behind one of those is a bubble mew. And you spin the wheel, someone picks card number 4, flip it over. Ah, it's not the bubble mew. It always gets down to 2 cards. It always gets down to 2 or 3 cards.
That's shady.
It's a scam, guys. It is a scam, okay? Don't touch that stuff. Some of my best wins in Pokemon last couple years have been on Whatnot. I very rarely go into the live streams, I actually just browse listings most of the time. Or sometimes I do jump in a live stream. I'm like, hey, do you have any Ho-Oh cards? Can you show me the condition? Will you take this price? The best thing about Whatnot is negotiating live. You're not sending an offer through eBay. You're just talking to the guy. And that's actually a huge advantage. It's a great way to buy cards. You get to see it. You can ask, hey, can I see that corner again, etc. Yeah, Whatnot's fine. That's my spicy take.
I don't disagree with that. I think a lot of people will.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of people that hate Whatnot just because of the bad people on there. But like you said, bad people are everywhere. If you buy from a trusted seller, I have friends that sell on Whatnot and other live selling platforms, but friends that I sell on Whatnot that are, I would say, trustworthy people, or I would buy from them. And so while a lot of people might disagree with you, I think I definitely agree with you. Yeah, there's not much, I guess, else to say.
Okay, my last spicy take then. Error collecting is the highest form of intelligence.
Whoa.
This one's a little cheeky, but yeah, I think collecting errors in Pokemon is probably like the best way to collect. Most errors are inherently unique, so you have something special, and many of them are not that expensive. There's definitely grails. There's definitely like high-end error grails. Pre-release Raichu being like the ultimate example. That's pretty extreme. But yeah, error collecting is like, it's really, really cool. You can still go on eBay and hunt for errors and get rare errors for like a couple bucks, because the seller doesn't notice. It's a really, really rewarding and fun way to collect still, when I feel like most of that has been sucked out of the hobby in the other niches.
Sucked. I don't know. Yeah, I think so. I think there's like different types of error collectors. There's those people that, like you said, go after like the error type grails, like the cigar stain, which is not really a cigar stain, but that's what people call it, or the no damage nine tails or whatever. There's like these well-known errors that are really expensive and rare. There's those people, and it's pretty nuanced, and you have to like the information. It's probably more out there now, but not so much 5 years ago, or even a little bit further back. It was very hidden. You have to know the right people and who's in that like kind of genre of collecting to find out about them or where to look. But there's also like people that I think don't want to be a part of the hype and chasing these cards that everybody else is chasing that are really expensive, and this is a fun way to collect. And so for those people, I think it's a really cool thing. I've never been into error collecting really myself. I've tried it out a little bit, but it's kind of hard, in
Yeah,
my opinion.
it's expert
Um,
level for sure.
yeah, it's kind of difficult to in McLaren in your Discord. I've reached out to him on some cards. I'm like, is this an error? And he's like, no, it's just sun faded. And like 3 times I've been like, and I'm seriously, I don't know. So I'm like, is this sun faded or is it like missing an ink layer or something? And he's like, no, it's definitely sun faded. Um, and then I think there's people too that just want something to be more than it is. Similar to how we were talking about people giving nicknames to cards or being the first ever hollow foil card printed that way. But I think people want something to be rarer than it actually is, and that's not what you should be using or how you should be error collecting, in my opinion. Similar to like the crimp errors, like people that collect crimp errors, that think they're kind of really rare things that occur. It's like, no, they're probably, most of them are fake. Like you pointed out in your video, you can recreate these really, really easily, or any errors that you can recreate after manufacturing. You should probably steer clear of. So I think there's a lot of nuance in it. And you have to really be well learned or studied in that to know what you're doing. But I don't know about, you said highest form of intelligence. That's a funny way to word it.
Yeah.
um, yeah, I kind of agree with that.
Okay, well, those are my spicy takes. See how
It
many
was really good.
unsubscribers we get.
Yeah, I think they started out really hot, and then I mean, whatnot is fine as a hot one, I think, or spicy take, but I agreed with that one actually. Um, all right, let me rank these really quick. So you have 6. I would say number 1 is definitely you should not buy sealed. Your first one, I think that's your spiciest take. That's gonna set some people off because I think that's what this hobby is like almost always about right now. Like is that's
Mhm.
people talk about sealed all day long. The
Mhm.
majority of content is probably talking about sealed product. So yeah, that is definitely a very spicy take. Um, number, I'm gonna go in order. Collecting what I like is the worst way to collect. I think that's almost tied for number 1. That's a very spicy take because some people, while we were saying like you should have a collection identity, it's more efficient way to collect. People are like, will probably come back with, I just want to have fun. I'm just here to, I don't need to have like a super focused goal. I'm just casually collecting and I'll just buy whatever it looks cool. So I think a lot of people will have something to say about that. Number 3, I'll say no one cares. I'm going to go in order. No one cares about the first ever. I think that's pretty spicy. After that, I'll say whatnot is fine is your next one. So a little bit out of order. Number 6, air collecting is the highest form of intelligence. Sorry, that's your fifth spiciest. And then the last one would be every influencer should start their own grading company, will be my least spicy take. I don't
Okay.
know actually if that's that was just weird to me more than anything. I don't know how spicy it is. It's just weird. It's a weird thought. I haven't fully like processed that yet.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Let us know in the comments how much you disagree with me. Like I said, I feel like I have to repeat myself. A lot of these are very nuanced. You can, and I change my mind all the time. So, don't freak out.
Same.
I came at these pretty strong for the sake of the podcast.
Willie
Um,
Pair Cards will like this episode. He's I don't know if you saw his comment. I highlighted it from last.
I thought
He
that was
said,
so
"Yes, my
funny.
favorite Rage Bait podcast is here." I didn't think that this is what we would be labeled as when we started this, the Rage Bait podcast.
No,
That's funny.
me neither.
And then Kai says, "Knockout Cards." Kai says, "I unsubscribed." Unsubscribed.
Oh no.
Yeah. Shout out to Kai.
Did you have a bonus for us?
Oh
A bonus
yes.
spicy take?
Yeah. So this is my redemption because last time wasn't too spicy. A lot of people said that, yeah, I was kind of weak on the spicy take. So my spicy take is Logan Paul is a collector. And not only is he a collector, he's probably knows more about Pokemon's history than most modern day collectors know about Pokemon themselves.
Okay, on one of my spicy takes that I deleted was Logan Paul is not that bad. But then I
Yeah,
took it
I
off
agree.
because I'm like, hey, he does suck.
I'm not saying he's not a terrible person. I don't really know him. I just know him from, what I see online. But I'm not saying he's a great person. I'm just saying I think he's a collector, and everybody says he's a grifter. He's not, he's just here for the money. I don't think that's true. I think he actually likes Pokemon.
I
Um,
think both can be true.
yeah, but I think a lot of people are here for the money. And we see people that
Sure.
we're kind of friends with. You and I have mutual friends that are like hyping up cards and pumping cards and,
I know someone in the hobby right now who is full on in it for the money, crypto bro. But they also really like Pokemon, and I also really like them. I think Logan Paul is a grifter. Actually, we have pretty good evidence of that. I think he is in it for the money, but I would agree with you. I do think he genuinely likes Pokemon. I mean, he grew up like we did, right?
yeah. Um, I think he actually likes, like, if you look at his Instagram page, um, he has like his PC items, and then some of them are obviously Pokemon, but then he also has a what is it, Triceratops fossil, like skull. He owns like a Triceratops like skull fossil. He owns like a T-Rex tooth. He has a signed picture of Abraham Lincoln. It's like a photo of Abraham Lincoln signed by Abraham Lincoln. He's like all this crazy like collection stuff that, like, it's like obviously this dude's collecting. He has like a hockey stick for, I forget what hockey player it is.
You
All
don't think
this.
that's just a byproduct of having millions of dollars?
I mean, yeah, but like, does that mean he's not a collector?
I don't know. It might.
Collecting
Maybe
is not a
maybe his
necessity.
accountant's
It's what
like,
you do when you have like excess money, right? And nobody needs to collect anything. It's just obviously
I would disagree
expendable
with
income.
that. Like I'm a collector. Like when I was a kid, I collected rocks.
Okay, yeah, I guess in that sense, yeah, that makes, yeah, you can collect whatever you want, but but a lot of the stuff that we consider collectibles today aren't. Um, they're just there's things that you spend expendable income or extra cash on. Nobody needs to spend their money on this stuff, right?
You don't
Like
think
pop
Logan's
culture
CPA
collectibles.
was like, you got to spend some money, bro. you,
I
you got to
guess.
get some tax for your
I just
taxes.
yeah. I mean, that's definitely a possibility. Yeah, I just think he's a collector, and people give him. It's fine to be critical of somebody, especially like given the past of that person and what we know he's done, or allegedly done. I don't know what I can say, but it. I think people go to the extreme, and they're just like, this person is the worst person on the face of the earth.
Yeah, nothing's black and white. Nothing's black and white. I'm sure there's people out there who have had just the most worst offensive, just bad interactions with Logan, saw him at his worst. And then I'm sure there's people out there who Logan has probably honestly helped and probably like an angel to them. Nothing's black and white.
Yeah,
Uh, so yeah, I think that's spicy, but I also agree. Like I said, I had on my list temporarily. The reason I took it off my list is because the liquid marketplace thing isn't really up for debate. People were scammed. Crypto Zoo, uh, people were scammed. He does have a history of legitimately scamming people, and I find that unforgivable. But yeah, both can be true. He can be an honest Pokemon fan, a real collector, and also scam people. So
yeah. I just looked up the definition of grifter, and I don't think I knew what it was before I started this argument.
okay,
Yeah, it says it's con artist, swindler, scammer, blah 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 blah. But I thought for some reason I thought drifter, like somebody is like who just goes from hobby to hobby.
oh,
Um, but that's not what it means. So a little confused there. But anyway,
Before we move on to the news, I wanted to share my newest pickup.
Ooh, a box,
Excuse my my fingerprints here. I didn't
an
wash my
oily
hands
box.
this morning. Um,
What is the black thing that it's in? You want to look?
don't
I know
worry
what it
about
is,
it.
but
Don't worry about
you don't want it.
it. This is called ASM, or a simple mailer.
The
It's
inside,
pretty slick.
the like cavity for what goes in the card that goes in there. It reminds me the shape of it because it has those two like semicircles on the top, like a piece of toast. I always think of a piece of toast when I see it.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It just every time.
Okay. Yeah, these are made to like safely ship your slabs. Like you can like run over it with a car and stuff, and yet it's super lightweight and simple. But I use them to display my cards and just to keep my slabs personally. Um, Boom! I bought this mug. I bought a fossil mug. I spent my Charizard fund on a fossil mug. CGC7, which seems crazy, but hear me out. It has a Cosmos foil pattern on it. This is extremely rare. This is the rarest thing I own, I think. Yeah.
Is it you holding it like that because there's a glare? I'm trying to
Yes.
like. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm holding it weird because of the glare. Otherwise,
Yeah, this is the coolest thing. I don't know if all of our
there
viewers,
we
I know
go.
some of our viewers are overlapped with your channel, so people may be seen this, but not every one of our viewers here has seen this really cool Cosmos. I didn't know what this was until you told me.
Oh,
You
really?
want to explain to, I guess, what people like, why it's so special?
Yeah, so here's the short version because I don't want to bore anyone. So base set, jungle, and fossil were all released with the starfoil pattern, which I'm sure you guys all remember. And then as the story goes, Wizards of the Coast ran out of the starfoil pattern, or they were soon to run out. And they were looking at other options, and one of those other options was Cosmos, because that's what Japan was doing. And I think Pokemon Japan was likely that's what they wanted them to do. So, anyways, Wizards printed off a set of the fossil hollows with Cosmos and used it for internal use. So basically, it was used to, as an example, to take to manufacturers and say, "Hey, can you do this for us?" So there's not very many of these. Numbers I've heard is about 140 across the 14 cards. Matt, the person I bought this off of, told me that he knows of 12 copies of this mug in the world. Only 3 people have ever completed the sets of the 14 cards. So yeah, CGC has graded 3 of these. PSA has graded 1 of these.
So 8 are raw.
Asterisk. Sorry?
8 of them are raw then, supposedly, because
Not
there's 12.
necessarily. Not necessarily. So PSA didn't recognize this for a long time.
Ooh,
Yeah, so there's a bunch of PSA graded copies out there that are just called Fossil Knock.
that's wild.
Yeah, and Fossil Dragonite,
Be on the
Gengar.
lookout on eBay, people.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, this is blue. This is the most expensive Pokemon card I've bought as well. Blew that Charizard out of the water. We
That's
made
really cool.
we made an episode a few weeks ago. We are like, this is our most expensive Pokemon card we've ever bought, and then we just absolutely both of us just
What
obliterated that.
happened?
I don't
What
know.
happened?
I don't know. I
I
don't
did
know.
not
Well,
foresee that. It wasn't on my 2026 bingo card at all.
no, I know. Well, the thing is, like, you kind of got to know someone to buy one of these. They do
Definitely. That's
pop up
crazy.
on eBay every once in a while, but within the last year, I think there's been one on eBay, a Raichu that sold. So yeah, I met someone, they had this, and I was like, this is it. I know I was saving
Now or
up for a
never.
Charizard, but yeah, it's kind of a now or never scenario. Um, I'm not gonna chase after the complete set. It'd be cool to be the 4th person ever to have that set, but Dragonite and Gengar would probably kill me. So
Yeah, that's really cool. Like you said, you have to know. That's really, I don't know, those items you have to know somebody to kind of get are really cool to me. Like the exclusivity and that chase, that level of chase is really intriguing to me.
Yeah, and as I've said, I think I said this in a past episode, or actually this was on Ern and Jodo Jake's podcast. What I've learned from doing Pokemon YouTube is that I think if you want to quote unquote invest in Pokemon, if you want your purchases to hold strong, you need to buy rare stuff, truly rare, not just the new Viridian Forest Pikachu. You know, there's a lot of them out there. There's thousands and thousands of them out there. You need to purchase actual rare cards. And so this was nice to sort of put my money where my mouth is and purchase something that's truly rare, you know?
That's a unique item to have like in your collection too. It's like a staple of like your collection. Something that's
Yeah.
unique.
And it's cool to know there's 12 out there and I own one, you know? I feel like one day someone's going to come knocking and they're going to really want it to complete their set or something like that, you know? And
$1 million.
yeah, I'll either ask for $1 million or I'll happily pass it on to another collector.
I'm another collector. That's really cool.
Thanks.
Congratulations.
Do you have anything to share this week?
Yeah, Ibex yelled at me because I made a video about a bulk lot purchase I picked up the other day. And I went over some of the cards that I got, and I skipped over this card, and he was really upset that I that I didn't mention the Imakuni, the dance Neo Imakuni. I just brushed right over it, and he's like, "Dude, you didn't even mention it." And so I'm righting my wrong. This is the CD promo dance Neo Imakuni card. Pretty unique card. All the Imakuni cards are really unique, but yeah, it's a cool card. And then also I wanted to mention, because I do talk about ARS every so often, I got an ARS submission back, and I sent out 3 of the Ancient Origin Bandit Ring Rayquazas, the Mega Rays. I sent one in English. These were all Gemex before, but I wanted them in the ARS slabs. So this Mega Rayquaza in English, it's the cleanest one I've ever seen. The back is like, you got
What?
whitening and stuff, but this front looks like a 10. There's nothing wrong with this front. I don't
What?
see anything on the, like, I don't know. I really don't care that it's a 1. It looks really cool. Same with this one. There's a Russian one I had, and the front looks really clean, but the back is kind of messed up, and it got a 1 as well. There's no like creases in these, so I don't know.
Damn.
Oh, I guess there's some dents in this one on the back. It doesn't really show on the front. Anyway, but the biggest news and the thing I'm happiest about the most is Gemix. I had this in a Gemix slab. I didn't submit it to Gemix myself, but this is the Korean Mega Ray. And when I cracked it out, it was like very apparent that it was fake. And so I wanted to test ARS to see if they would grade it, and they didn't. So I was very proud of them that they didn't. They charged me, which is fair because that's part of their service. They're authenticating it. But yeah, glad they didn't slab it up. So.
How do you feel about GemX having graded that?
I don't like that they did, especially because they're similar to Tag in that they have a grading report. So they're more like technical grading. They give that vibe the way they try to sell it. And so you get all the like it's really cool because you get the 4 subgrades. You get like a diagram of the front of the card and the back of the card where the damage is found, which is nice. But the card, they like totally missed what grading companies like number one purpose should be. It shouldn't be grading, it should be authentication. And so I don't like that, but they're not the first grading company to do it, and they're new. They're like, I think they're like 4 years old. They're newer than ARS. So I forgive them.
Do
I
you
hope
think
they
4 years into collecting that card would have fooled you?
no. Well, like, yeah, so like I had some like doubts when I saw it in the slab, but I bought it in a bulk purchase, and then when I took it out, I was like, oh my god, it's like obvious as soon as I took it out. Um yeah, it makes you wonder who's there grading the cards, or are they using a computer like AI? Because I've heard people in Japan say that they're using AI or computer grading. So maybe their AI is just off and it's not person looking at it. Um, but I want to send it back kind of, and I want to see if they do it again, and then I want to let them know, like, hey, this is the second time you've actually done this, and like you just a heads up, like you need to fix it. Um, so I think I'll
For
send it back to him
me,
to see.
I think that discredits them pretty hard because I start to wonder like that Rayquaza, like you said, once you had it raw, you're like, oh yeah, this is fake.
It's
What about
obvious.
good fakes? You know, if that slipped by them, what else has slipped by them? And I'm not saying other grading like PSA has graded fakes, you know. But yeah, it's like
The saturation's
yeah,
turned up so on my camera, so this doesn't look as bad as it does in person, but there's like no texture on this card. This card's known for texture. There's
I
like
can
barely
also
any.
see it's thick, isn't it?
Yeah, it's super
I
thick.
can see how thick it is from here, all the way from Canada. I can
It's
see how
stiff
thick it
too.
is.
Like this is a lot of pressure I'm putting on it.
Yeah,
Um,
like if that made it, if they graded that, then yeah, personally, I wouldn't send them my cards after that. I'm not gonna go around and dog on them too hard, but
we
yeah,
see a lot of companies too, though. CGC graded, I mean,
sure. No,
modern
everyone.
printed cards, and like I think you're a fan of CGC, right?
Am I?
I thought you were.
I like their slabs a lot. I like how they feel, but I
I do
don't
too.
really. I'm pretty unbiased when it comes to grading companies. I don't really have a favorite.
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna send it back to them, see if they do it again. Hopefully they don't. If they do, I mean, I kind of want them to, just so I can be like, ha. But yeah. Hopefully they don't. And yeah, it is worrisome. I think so many companies do it and have done it in the past that it's just a part of the learning process. But there is some really good quality fakes out there, like you said. So who knows?
Yeah, I think I'd be more lenient on them if they were 6 months old. 4 years, that shouldn't slip by you after 4 years.
Yeah, part of me is wondering is because maybe they didn't know because it's a Korean card and it's um it's older, so maybe they're used to just grading new cards. I'm just guessing I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. This is like some young 20-year-old kids that have only known modern Pokemon, or maybe not even maybe they didn't even start in Pokemon. Maybe they're doing some other Japanese TCG and then they're like, let's grade Pokemon because it's, we'll make money. Um so maybe they don't even know Pokemon and they just run it through their AI or their computer scanning and then it gives that grade and then they slab it up. But I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think if I were to start grading Yu-Gi-Oh, I'd be like, yeah, we need to hire a Yu-Gi-Oh expert.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Anyways, should we cover the news?
Nah, I'm just kidding.
Not
Just
this
nah.
time.
Yeah, so first thing I don't think we've done this in a while, like shown off just a cool, I don't know, a collectible item. Maybe we have, but um this is a where where am I? Uncut ancient Mew sheet sold recently.
Okay, so
Uh,
does this have? Yes, it has the no opaque layer Mew on it.
yeah.
Very cool.
Um yeah, so I know the guy that owned this. You know Squeaks Game World?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, he's in a podcast, the what is it? The Off Centered podcast with Radar and Thrifty and Mason Cardinal Gaming. But he's owned this for a while now, and I didn't think he would sell it, but he sold it to Cast Collectibles. Lucky man, I can't imagine how much this went for. Really, really cool. Um, just I don't know, so much nostalgia. Just a bunch of ancient Mews on an uncut sheet.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best uncut sheet. Maybe first edition Charizards would be cooler. Maybe. I don't know. That's awesome. I almost wish the no opaque layer wasn't on there just for a more consistent look.
I love it.
But yeah, I also think it's super badass.
Yeah. I have no desire to own this card. really by itself, but the
There,
sheet
hold
is
up.
really
That's a
cool.
spicy take.
No, I said it in the past episode. I don't really have a
Oh
desire to
no.
own it. Um, maybe one day, but there's just so many other things. But this sheet is like something, yeah, I would love to have. It's really cool.
No sheet.
It also made me think about how much more expensive uncut sheets have gotten and how much I regret not paying more for that or bidding more on that uncut Top Sun sheet.
Mm.
A couple years ago, I think one was on Heritage, and
You sent it to me.
I bid up to 5,000. I think that was my cutoff, and then somebody wanted at 5,250, and I was like, it had a Charizard on it. I think it had a Venusaur as well, no Blastoise, but I'm like, damn, I think about it all the time. Like,
Dang.
yeah, that would be like a grail for me.
Yeah, I've let some uncut sheets go under my top bid, and I regret it.
They're just so cool. I don't know.
I know I've always wanted one, and now that they're so expensive, I'm like, part of me is like, Oliver, just do it. But then that other part of me is like, that was $1,000 and you didn't buy it. Now it's $6,000.
Yeah, price memory sucks.
Yeah.
Especially for people like you that have been in the hobby forever. um, what else we got?
No PSA in May.
Oh yeah. Did you see this?
No.
Boycott
So,
PSA in May. No more upcharges.
I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory, but do you want to tell me
Yeah.
about it?
So Boston Card Hunter, I think you're probably familiar with him. He has a YouTube
Oh,
channel.
that
He's
guy,
the
yeah.
one starting this. He's done a lot of interviews with PSA, talks on the hobby a lot, but a lot of videos on PSA and just how he's unhappy with the upcharges PSA has. People are the hobby in general is, and this is him trying to get that to change by starting a revolution of people not submitting cards to PSA in May. Um, I don't think it's going to do anything. I'm actually excited because maybe my PSA submissions will go through quicker. I will probably still submit to PSA, but I wanted to know what you think about it. I know you don't really grade too often, but
Um, I don't know. I think it would be good to drum up like as a signal to PSA, you know? Like put a little bit of pressure on them maybe. The upcharge thing, we talked about it before. It's kind of controversial, but I feel like people always have to do a double take. Or like when I kind of explain to people that like the more expensive the card is, the more you have to pay, people are always like, "What?" It's like people don't believe you at first. It is a crazy concept to get used to. So I think I don't know. Maybe I don't think it's gonna do anything. But kind of like we said in the past, I don't know if that's a like it doesn't have to do anything. If there could just be some noise and people see it and PSA sees it,
yeah,
maybe yeah. I don't know. I'm not I don't support it. I don't not support it. Pretty neutral.
that would be the time to send in your Deoxys if they did like a quick trial run of no upcharges.
Oh gosh, man. They'd be backed up for years.
Yeah, they would. Yeah, they're not gonna do it. There's no way. Um, and then I think you put this next one in another uncut sheet.
Yeah, another uncircumcised sheet. This one is Shadowless First Edition. It's not up
What's wrong
for
with it?
what's wrong with it?
Yeah, why is it so faded? It's been
Oh,
hanging in the sun. Is that sun fading?
I don't think this is sun fading. I think the reason the sheet is uncut is because the color's off.
Uh,
Yeah,
so it was like an error.
I don't think this is a production ready sheet from what I understand. So obviously they print off sheets to either calibrate the machine, get the colors right, etc. And I think that's what this is. I think
I'm getting
uh,
dizzy.
if you go to the very top, you can read that Sharpie.
Oh, hold on. K for color.
Okay for
Oh,
color
okay.
and fit. Okay for color doesn't sound right because that color's not okay.
Okay for
Perhaps
color
it
and fit.
perhaps
Interesting.
perhaps it is sun faded. But anyways, it's a shadowless, and then if you go down to the bottom, um, it is first edition.
Yeah, they're all first ed marked, right?
Yeah, so um wait, can we see the back? Is the back faded? No.
Nope.
Back looks amazing. Well,
It's
except for
probably
the
hanging
blemish.
hanging in somebody's window now. In
Yeah,
like a shop
perhaps.
somewhere, probably.
So I got some I'm not gonna call it insider information, but I was told by someone who spoke to Heritage about this sheet that they're expecting 25 to 50 grand for this.
Yeah. I would yeah, I'd probably argue more even.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah. That's because like there was a no rarity Japanese sheet, which those are a lot more rare, but that went for like 600K. And then I can't remember. There was another sheet that like English sheet that went for 100K.
We got Black Flame Ninetales, multiple first edition Charizards.
Yeah. There's just everything's on here, right? There's not a base set card missing. Too many Machamps, I'll say. I'm tired of that card. Everybody had it. Yeah. Really cool though.
Yeah, pretty exciting. Pretty exciting. Next thing we got is the Chaos Rising ETB Pro Bono.
Pro bono.
Pro Bono. Pro Bono. Uh, ETB Rising IR.
This thing?
Pro. Yeah, this thing. This
What
is
is this thing
the.
called?
This is Fennekin.
Fennekin. There you go. I knew that.
Yeah, it's like a Fennec Fox, I guess.
Do you know you can
Um,
own those here in Japan?
oh, that's neat.
Yeah, I think they're like 10 grand though.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. That's crazy. Right now, my province is working on a law to outlaw exotic cats.
Oh, you can own those? Like,
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like it's not legal, but it's not illegal right
okay.
now to own big cats. And so, yeah, they've been working on that. That'd be good because I know someone who knows someone who has a serval, and that's messed up. That's a wild animal.
What's a serval?
It's a big cat, big scary
Okay.
cat. You couldn't pay me to get within 20 feet of one of those. So, and someone's living with one.
For
Um,
now.
yeah, for now.
Is this you said this is a promo? Because it doesn't say promo. It looks like a set card.
Yeah, so the English card hasn't been revealed yet.
Oh,
This
okay.
is a Japanese one, but this is confirmed to be the Chaos Rising ETB promo.
Interesting choice.
Yeah, nice card. I like it. I kind of like how our ETB promos have been like Charcadet. um,
Oh, for okay, yeah.
Charcadet. What was the perfect order one?
The
Um,
dinosaur.
oh, Tyrantrum.
Yeah. And then they're
And
just kind of off the wall sometimes though. There was the Thunderous for I can't remember what set.
yeah, for black and white,
Yeah, just
Thunderous and
random.
Tornadoes. Yeah, I like that. The Charmander was crazy. The Obsidian Flames Charmander was crazy. Um, I kind of like these. I like the trend of ETB promos being kind of like B-list Pokemon.
Yeah. You just hurt somebody's feelings right now.
Sorry. Spicy take. Fennekin is B-list.
I'm excited for the evolution of Fennekin Braxton, the
Um,
mega evolution where it's riding the broomstick and then it's got
yeah,
two like I think that's gonna have some really cool arts.
yeah, probably.
I'm excited
Um,
for that one.
and then our last news topic. This one's pretty cool. So there's a card show that's going viral right now because they've banned sealed product. So vendors are not allowed to bring. I don't know if like vintage is allowed, like base set packs and stuff, but they've banned modern sealed product. What do you think about that?
I think that's
Yeah.
really a great idea, and they're doing more than probably other entities have. Like Pokemon's can't do anything right now, or isn't doing anything to solve anything, right? The problem, but that's something they don't have to do, and it seems like it's a for the hobby move.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought about this for a long time because, like I said earlier, nothing's black and white. There's definitely some arguments to have sealed product at a show. But I think ultimately this is a good thing just because when I was vending, or even when I've just gone to card shows as a guest, it's, I don't know, it's cool to look at cards and then you get to a table that's just sealed product and it's like, what are you doing here, man?
Yeah.
Like, I don't like that. But also, as a vendor, something I've noticed, maybe it's just my area. I can't speak for other places in the world, but people line up in the morning to buy sealed product at the show.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's not available in stores. The last show I vended at was the Saturday. It was the day after the Ascended Heroes ETBs came out. So a lot of the vendors had Ascended Heroes ETBs and they sold within the first hour of the show. People were lined up to come get their ETBs.
Aren't these vendors just selling at market though?
No, I think most of them were like $10 to $20. $10 above, $10 to $20
MSRP.
above, not MSRP, but what you can get them for at the store, you
Okay.
know? Because like
So they're cheaper than what you would get them online though.
yeah, not by much, but like the sort
Mm.
of the vendors that I'm involved with at the show, they're all pretty understanding people. I mean, I think there's one guy that no one likes, you know, but but
I
everyone
think you
else
told
is
me about
like
him before.
maybe, but everyone else is like kind of like collectors and part of a
Okay.
community. So I know some of the vendors that were around me, they got their ETBs for I think $100 Canadian, and they're selling them for 120 at the show. So it was kind of more of like, hey, I'll go buy this product, and then you can pick it up from me at the show tomorrow for, I make $20. I make 10 or $20, which I don't think is awful. Um,
No.
because it's like, hey, I went and I waited in line. Uh, so you could come and buy it on a Saturday, because people have jobs.
Yeah.
If you call me up right now, say, hey, I'm working tomorrow. Can you go get me can you go wait in line at 8 a.m. and get me an ETB? I'll throw you an extra $10. I mean, that's fair, right?
Yeah.
I'm okay. I'm going off on quite a rant tangent here. But yeah, I think ultimately just banning sealed product is probably a good thing to do.
Yeah.
Because there
For
are
the time
some,
being.
yeah, yeah. I think it's probably a good thing to do. I think it'd make a show a lot more enjoyable for me.
Yeah. It's not something, I guess if it's cheaper, then you could argue that it's nice to pick it up there if it's a little bit cheaper than online. But ultimately, you don't need to look at it in person. And like going to a card show, I could think about like, I get to look at the card in person and condition check it there. Sealed product, I don't really need to condition check. It's like, it's a box of, stuff. I can just buy it online. I'm not going to go wait in line and to save $20 or whatever. But um, yeah, to each its own.
Yeah, I think it's probably a good thing. I wouldn't mind if some of my local shows did that, just so I could experience it.
Yeah, if more people, and it's not just the card shows, like there's probably other places that could do their part. So it's cool to see them doing what they saw, like, hey, let's try this out and see if it helps, in the grand scheme of things, the bigger picture. So if it more card shops or wherever, other places did this type of thing, then it might help, a little bit maybe.
I would like to go to a show without sealed product, just, cards. Because I personally I don't buy sealed product at shows, so I skip those tables. It'd be cool if I didn't have to skip tables, you know?
Yeah.
And like, if you have an ETB to sell, be like, hey man, I have one in my car, you know, after the show. You know, if you really have to get rid of an ETB, like you can find a way.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. That's it for the news. You want to move on to questions?
Listener questions. Do me.
So we have a new thing. I don't think I ran this by you. Would like, but we talked about it in the past. Trying out some video caller questions so people can submit a video question to us.
Okay.
So this is Hectic TCG. Shout out to Hector. I like last second was just like, hey man, I want to try this out on the next episode. We're about to record in 30 minutes. Can you send me a question on video? And he said, sure. And he I guess he always has his mic on him. But yeah, I didn't screen this question at all. I wanted to leave it a surprise for both of us. So I have no idea what this question will be.
Okay.
And he said, can I ask anything? And I said, yes. So we'll see what it is. You ready?
Yep.
What's up, Shug? What's up, Oliver? I have a two-part question. If your entire collection was to disappear, except for one card, what card would it be and why? Shout out to the Weekly Weedle.
All right. So
What's he do? He's in a cab of some sort. Is that a truck or a crane or?
I think he has two jobs, I believe. He does Amazon and I think he does pest control.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But thank you, Hector, for asking the question. So if our collections disappeared tomorrow, I think he said, and we could only have one card survive, what card would it be? I can hear you getting it out.
My answer right now is Muck. There might be some
Yeah.
recency bias. Maybe ask me in a couple weeks when I'm not so high on this, and I'd have a different answer. But yeah, I think the Muck.
That's a fair, because that's not very easily replaceable either compared to like everything else, right?
True. Everything else I could buy back.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Muck, I don't know if I could buy
Damn.
that back.
This is such a tough question.
It's not Ultra Lord.
It's one of my Ultra Lords. So I was thinking the gold, if like he said card though, right? Not like item. So I can't do like the sheets. I think it would honestly be, I don't think it'd be the Gold Star Torchic. I think it would be the Blueback Top Sun Gengar in a 10.
That's a good choice. Yeah.
It's one of my first cards I picked up. I picked it up for cheap. I graded it myself. They're low pop. I think pop's like 31 or 32. My Flareon's only 12, but it's a Flareon. It's not a Gengar. So I think this is the card I would choose to survive.
That's the one I would gamble onto to retire off of.
Yeah, I think it's undervalued. I think given how popular Gengar is and seeing other Gengar cards go for a lot more than this, I'm going to hold on to this for a while until I don't know, hopefully one day I buy a house. I don't think maybe it won't ever reach that, honestly, but that'd be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
The more it goes
Hectic.
up though, the less I want to get rid of it.
Right.
Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, so I don't know if we want to keep doing that. If people want to send in questions, you can obviously just do it the way we've been doing it, comments in the comment section. But if you want to send in a video question for some reason, you can just DM me on Instagram or Oliver on Instagram, send us the video and just let us know it's for the Weekly Weedle, and then we'll put it up. I don't know if we'll be able to do videos for every single question, but yeah, just something new to try out, something fun.
Yeah, I like that. That's fun.
All right. So next question is from Tazzy Flukes. Tazzy Flukes said, how does the abundance of singles, which is so good for collecting right now, work without the so-called degen culture of mass pack opening? And then he goes on to say, are us single buyers taking advantage of people's gambling addictions? Poppycock.
Poppycock.
Yeah.
This question isn't poppycock. That's really, really good point. I say, hey, don't open packs, but then you could say, well, if people don't open packs, how do we buy singles? I don't want everyone to stop opening packs. There's
Just you.
definitely, I don't know, there's a few ways to approach this question. I understand the hypocrisy behind it. The first thing that comes to mind is like gotcha games. So if you've ever played a gotcha game on your phone, what are some big ones like Raid, Shadow Legends? There's a bunch of like Genshin Impact, maybe. I used to play a Dragon Ball one. Those games are free
There's a
to
lot, like
play.
every game.
Yeah, those games are free to play, um, and you don't have to make purchases. Those games, from what I understand, I don't have a gaming company, rely on a few big whales, right? Each of those games has a few people who are spending like six figures a month on that game, five to
Damn.
six figures. Yeah, and that's kind of like the concept behind those, right? You want to capture a few whales, and that kind of like supports the game being free for everyone. Or if you ever play something like Fortnite, which is free, it's other people making purchases that are making that game free for you. And so that's the first thing I thought of when it comes to this question. Yes, we're absolutely taking advantage of other people opening packs, and that's just the way it is. You know, are you a pay to win player, or are you just a free to play player when it comes to Pokemon?
Yeah. I don't know if we're, I guess in a way, maybe indirectly taking advantage. It's not intentional.
Sure,
We're not
yeah,
like saying, hey, I'm taking advantage of your gambling addiction. I'm
it's not
gonna, you know,
malicious.
yeah, it's not malicious. The intent is not there. Like malicious intent's not there. Uh, I would say also too, like degen culture. When I think of the word degen culture or like the phrase degen culture, I think of, like you said, mass pack opening where people are just opening endless amounts of product.
The whales,
And that's when I think they're, yeah, the whales, maybe not even whales, just people that are like going into debt opening product.
sure.
Um, and it's a real problem. But I think that there can be a healthy balance of like you can open, and you said before too, like you don't have to completely not open a set, but you could like maybe buy a booster box or a few packs, and then you go from there and build your collection if you're trying to master set it. Um, it's just, I think it's just a balance too for opening packs. It's not like you have to completely not do it, but just you don't have to overdo it. I think a lot of people are, like you said, doing mass pack openings.
Yeah, and I think that ties into my first spicy take of the episode. Like, Pokemon card collecting isn't opening packs anymore. We all grew up with that, and that's what the Pokemon Company wants us to think. But I don't think we're at a point where opening packs is like the entry level into Pokemon anymore. I think there's lots of other opportunities. Um, yeah, and if everyone stopped opening packs, that's not what I want. That's not what I've been screaming from the rooftops for. I think there's a
Yeah.
balance.
Yeah. I think it's just a balance. Yeah, good question. Next question we have Thailand and Raid 3899. I think this is a newer name. Do you guys think if a modern low value illustration art rare was printed in a vintage set, it would be worth a lot today? Follow up says, if you guys could choose a card with worth sub $5 to send back in time to be printed in a WotC set, which would it be? Mine would be Dunsparce from Crown Zenith Galarian Gallery.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't know. Dunsparce. Galarian Gallery. That's an interesting question. I think the first part is yes, it would be worth a lot. Especially with like those, like a full art, like that just wasn't a thing at all back then, right?
Yeah, like even if you look at Reshiram and Zekrom, the first full arts, like they're pretty pricey now.
Sorry, which ones?
Zekrom and Reshiram from the original Black White.
The black and white. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sold oh, that's not what I wanted to share. Hi Hector. There's the Duns. I couldn't think of which Dunsparce it was. This is a
Nice
really cool
card.
card. I've never really
Yep.
looked at it. That's cool. There's an Aerodactyl. There's an Omnite or Omnistar. Yeah. Do Do you have a card you have in mind, a sub $5 card you would send back?
Oh boy, off the top of my head, I really like the Shinji Kanda Magneton.
Really?
Yeah, love that card.
I don't.
Yeah, okay.
Do you really?
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's probably my top 10 for Scarlet and Violet, I think.
Oh wow. Yeah, this is one I should have kind of thought about before. I didn't really I saw it and then I kind of forgot.
Ooh,
Sub
never
$5.
mind. Wait, sub $5. Yeah, I'm not sure how cheap that Magneton is.
I
Magneton,
mean,
Meowth,
just
maybe.
around, I guess that Meowth. That's not sub 5, but that's cool. That's on theme too with like the art style.
Yeah.
Um I like this is not a sub $5 card. But I'm unprepared. The Rocket's Houndoom from where he's like jumping over the Rocket Elite. Like
Yeah, that's
that
a
in
good
the
one.
original Rocket set, even though I don't know. Yeah, I think it would be cool.
Yeah.
Almost any like of these full art cards would just be crazy if they were made back then.
Yeah.
They're just
Yeah,
so
I think
different.
so. You could take the ugliest one and it would still be the first ever full art, and people would go nuts.
The first ever. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Good question. Blue Hunt 3436. It's a new viewer, I think.
Mm.
What is your favorite promo card gimmick? And if you could make any card into a jumbo, metal, or lenticular variant promo, which card would you choose?
Ooh.
Favorite promo card gimmick? I think it would have to be like ponchos. It's like a generic, I don't know, boring answer, but ponchos are just really cool. Lenticular, I've always wanted to. Okay, we'll do a lenticular poncho Pikachu
That's cool.
that I guess is like Iron Man Pikachu, and his like mask is like coming down as you like as you do the lenticular effect or like turn the card. I don't know, something like that.
I think I would want the Meowth as a jumbo.
Really?
Yeah, jumbo Meowth. I like jumbos. Also lenticular, also metal.
It's everything. A metal lenticular.
A metal lenticular jumbo of Meowth.
Sounds wild.
Yeah, yeah, that's cool. Um,
Ooh.
also box topper, so it's like see-through. They'll have to
See
come up
through.
with a new
Yeah. A new element
a
on
new
the.
element to pull that
I
off.
was like, wait a minute. I'm not that smart, but I don't think you can do that. I was just thinking it would be really cool if they did like a Meowth card with what's that one you have where it has the amulet on the. Is it from Black
Oh
and
yeah.
White? If they did like a promo like that, but it was like 24 karat gold into the card, and there was like a limited amount of them.
That'd be sick. Yeah,
That'd be a cool promo.
that'd be cool.
That'd be like like finding a golden ticket in a pack. That'd be really fun.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, nowadays they'd probably use Goldango for that.
Yeah, I guess either one.
That's
Cool
a good
question.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I
fun.
like it. Bill's Kaidu said, "Do you guys think that PSA opening an authentication and grading facility in Germany will have a big impact on the market?"
No.
We talked about this so long ago, right? Like the news
Oh
of it
man,
happening, but
I
what
feel
happened to it?
bad. I feel bad for Europeans because they've been talking about this for years.
Really that long?
Yeah. No,
Damn.
the PSA, the German PSA facility has been, I think it must have been announced in like 2021.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to that might not be true, but it feels like it was 2021. Like I've been hearing about it forever now.
I know we talked about it on like one of our earlier episodes and then it got
Yeah.
pushed back or something.
Yeah,
and
it's
I just
been
haven't
pushed
heard
back.
anything since. But I think it'll. I don't know what the market is like in Germany for graded cards, but here in Japan, just seeing what it did to the market in Japan, I would think it would do a lot. So Japan's graded card market is relatively new. There wasn't a lot of graded cards on like selling platforms like Mercari and Yahoo Auctions Japan. When I got into back into Pokemon in 2019, there was very little graded cards on the online. And then 2021, they opened up a submission center in Tokyo where you could submit your cards to Tokyo, and then they would submit them to the US branch and then get them back. So that opened up the barrier to entry a little bit more. And then in 2023, they opened it for grading in Tokyo. And then you can see the spike if you like do Google Trends, search for PSA Japan or something. You just see like the spike in how many times it's been searched. It's like ridiculous. It's like in conjunction with that. But now like the market is so like flushed out, and there's like it's a big part of trading cards here in Japan. So I don't know what the market is like in Germany or in Europe, but I would assume that it does have some impact. They probably are, you know, have a market for graded cards there more so than Japan did 5-6 years ago. But I would think because of the like the tax duties, like import fees and stuff, that it would help some, just lowering that barrier to entry.
I don't think over here in the West we're gonna feel anything.
Oh
Maybe,
no, I don't think in the West. No.
but weird to bring up ARS again. But I know that just from what I've kind of seen online is a lot of people submit to ARS because it's there. It's in Europe. You know, people are
Okay.
reluctant to send their cards
You
to
talking
them.
about Ace?
What did I say? I said ARS.
Yeah.
My apologies. I meant ACE.
Okay. Okay.
ACE is in Europe, so people will send to ACE because they don't want to send their cards all the way to the States, which is understandable. Um, I think that we're not going to feel anything. I don't think PSA is going to feel anything. I think ARS and any other smaller grading companies in Europe are probably going to lose a percentage of their submissions once PSA is
Oh
easily
yeah.
available for Europeans.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that's a really good point.
But I
Yeah, I
don't
think a
think
lot of
we're
people, that's the biggest barrier. And that was the biggest barrier for me, was like sending cards in the mail. Um, like I don't know, just in general, sending card and getting over that. So I could imagine like that being much more difficult to do if you know the cards are going overseas than versus just sending them to like within your state or country or continent.
yeah, especially with like all this tariff and stuff going on. It's
Oh
like I
yeah.
just don't want to send stuff over the border.
Yeah,
It's packages get stuck, they get held, they get inspected. There's extra forms. It's bleh.
for sure. Good question, because I kind of forgot about the PSA thing in Germany. Next question is Blackwire TCG. Shout out to Brandon. Said 9 card or 12 card binders. What do you prefer?
Man, 12 all the way.
That's what I was gonna say. I think yeah, it's just
All the
more
way.
art on one page.
Yeah,
Easy.
12 all the way. I would skip 9. I'd even say like if you told me I couldn't have a 12, I'd go for a 4 pocket.
Dude, I can't stand 4 pocket binders.
No?
I don't understand why people use them.
It's more intimate.
Why?
Well, because when you have a 12 page or a 12 pocket binder, or, if you open the binder, that's 24 cards. It's a lot to look at. Having 4 to 8 cards at once, it's sort
Yeah,
of like right now I have 3 cards displayed on my desk. I'm not going to display 24 cards on my desk. You know,
you should see my desk.
12 pockets or even single pockets, they're really cool.
Yeah, I guess. Okay, that's a good point. I
They
didn't think of
serve
it
their
that
own
way.
purpose. I feel like 9 doesn't have that value proposition.
Yeah, the only thing
9
I can
is,
think of is like
yeah,
evolutions. It's the perfect
okay.
amount.
Sure, if you have a collecting identity that specifically fits into 9
And
or
then
4 or
trios,
12, whatever. Yeah, sure.
like
it has a
Yeah.
use case, but
Yeah.
no,
I don't
12
know.
all the way.
Yeah, 12. I like those simple, straightforward questions. They're just like 9 or 12.
I
Choose.
have a 9 pocket that I accidentally ordered. I meant to buy a 12. I got a 9, and I was like, I'll just use it. And I wish I sent it back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I
a good
hate it.
point. I don't know why it's just registered with me now, but like I bought the 16 page binders or 16 slot pages where it's like rows of 4
Okay.
so it's like 16 cards per page. Thinking that I would like it because I was like, oh, it's more art, more cards on one page. And I found out like I bought 2 at the same time and I hate them. I just use them to store cards. Like I don't use them to like collect anything. I just put like all my art rares in there, SARs that are like I don't want, and I bring it to a show. That's the only thing I use it for, though. It's not for like collecting. Yeah. And then we have a question from B Vermin. Are you guys religious? What do you think happens after you die? In parentheses, no, Oliver, Ho does not count as God.
That's fair. I mean, you can't have a fish versus a god. That's a weird combo. If Lugia is not a fish, Ho-Oh isn't a god. All I'll say to this one is I hope that when I die, I get to see my cats again.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a deep question. I'm not really religious. I'm more, I would say spiritual.
My cats are my gods. Hey, buddy. Yeah. Is that our last question?
That was, yeah.
All right. Okay, a bit of a funny note to end on. Thanks everyone
Yeah.
for listening to our 30th episode of the Weekly Wheel. Is it okay if I plug my new video real quick?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, which is it? No, I'm just kidding. Obviously. Is it the factory?
Yeah, okay, this Saturday I am publishing never before seen Pokemon card factory footage. That's not clickbait. That's it. No one has seen this Pokemon card factory footage from 1999 on my channel this Saturday.
Exclusive to Sleeve, no card behind.
That's right.
Did you premiere it?
Do you think I should? It's 40 minutes long.
I would. It would just build the hype for it because then people will get notified that it's going to happen, and then people can like discuss it live as they're watching it.
Okay. Yeah, maybe I will.
Yeah, I think that it's really. I just started it. I kind of I got busy and I couldn't finish it, but I'm gonna definitely finish it tomorrow. And just the first like 5 minutes, I was like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah, it's not clickbait. It's awesome. You don't have to subscribe. You don't have to, I don't care. Just go watch the video though. It's awesome.
Yeah, YouTubers are definitely gonna be clipping it for their videos. I know that.
Yeah. Okay, everyone. Thanks for listening and we'll see you next week.
Bye.